a film adaptation scam where they were writing a film adaptation, and it was bad. It was so bad.
I get those 3 or 4 times a week, the film adaptation scam, but it has the added bonus of the book that they usually have selected is a business workbook that I made years ago. And they'll write it. They'll be like, I just loved all the scenes. And, like, I just feel like this would adapt really well, your cinematic vision. And I'm like, oh, please tell me the best part.
Yeah. What's your favorite scene? Who should play me?
And, so like, because it's AI generated, it doesn't have to make sense.
And I mean, it does really seem geared towards people with like novels or narrative nonfiction. So like that's funny for us because our books are kind of universally not adaptable in that way. But like, yeah, that's not so funny if it actually makes sense to you.
Right. And ego is kind of their what they've got their claws on.
I mean, AI is so good at flattery. It's trained for flattery. That's what it does best.
Hi, I'm Joe Beal, the founder and CEO of Microcosm Publishing. I'm also the author of A People's Guide to Publishing, which distills what I've learned from selling millions of books over the past 28 years.
I'm Elly Blue, the vice president of Microcosm. We started this podcast to share what we've learned with newer publishers, so you can learn from our mistakes. Or maybe you just want to learn about the publishing industry.
This week, we welcome back Jane Friedman of The Bottom Line, telling us everything that is worth knowing in the publishing industry. And we are going to address what should be a reader question, which is, how do I understand if the communications that I'm getting about my book are a scam? And how should I respond to that?
So with AI has come a deluge of scams. A lot of them are marketing and promotion scams, targeting people who already have books on the market. So it doesn't really matter if you're traditionally published, self-published, doesn't matter. No one is accepted from this phenomenon. You are likely to get something. I think the biggest one as of today, is a book club scam. So it's people who generate an email that makes it sound like they really have read your work because they're using all available information online, feed it into AI to make it sound like, they have been emotionally changed by the contents of your book. And so then at the end, they're like, I'm wondering if you would come to my book club and, be a guest or whatever. They don't mention money. And so if you respond to this, eventually it's going to become clear that you're going to have to pay a fee. And this book club there is no one at this book club. And this is the one that I think has just generated a lot of ridicule, outrage. Even people who should know better have gone down this thinking it was legitimate. The other scam that's very prevalent right now is the impersonation scam. And I have seen people lose thousands of dollars on this. So it's a scammer impersonating a really well-known agent or publisher or some sort of brand in publishing. It's happened to me where, this person is interested in your work and they want to re-release it or they want to adapt it or they have some opportunity for you, but you just have to pay this amount in order, to make the opportunity to pursue it with them. And I had one woman I met with in person who, because AI was used to make it sound like the person had really read the book.
We built this software from scratch to solve our own problems starting in 2001.
It's not only the reason for our survival, but the reason we've been a Publishers Weekly fastest growing publisher 3 years in a row.
Now we want to share it with you.
Join Working Lit and get back the agency to understand your publishing business, market and sell your books, and painlessly pay royalties.
Working Lit. Doing the math for publishers.
Visit workinglit.com to give it a try for free.
Yeah, the person I met with who got caught had written a business memoir. And this was really kind of a retrospective on all of her business wins, and, you could see this deep desire in her for this to be recognized and to be dramatized on the screen.
Yeah.
And I think they do go after, I mean, if they're not going after memoirists as a business strategy, they should be. But I think they definitely know who the right targets are.
So if you get an email with an appealing offer that of a book club appearance, or I mean, and there's like a lot of legitimate things that happen too when you write a book. Like a bookstore might want you to come to an event at the store, or a radio show or podcast might want you to be on. How do you evaluate all this? How do you tell what's real and what isn't?
I think step one is looking at the email address, and just making sure that it matches the business that might be approaching you. And it's not something with like one small word changed. You can pretty easily look up what's the conventional business address for, like, whether it's Penguin Random House or Microcosm or janefriedman.com. You can usually tell with some Googling or using specific tools, what are the email addresses of those people generally? What do they look like? And then compare it against whoever sent you the email. You can also just run a Google search for the name of the person and scam. Always visit the website of the real life brand or organization, assuming it is one. Not clicking through, but going, if it seems to be from Penguin Random House, go Google Penguin Random House's website, make some comparisons. And as of today, every time I visit a literary agency website, have you noticed there's a big announcement? We are being impersonated. This is a scam. And so you'll also find notices like that when you go to their sites that can help show this is happening.
It's your moral obligation to waste the time of the scammer as much as humanly possible. In one real example, somebody said they were wanted to produce our film for Steven Spielberg. And so we looked up like the name of his wife and like people she plays golf with, and then we said that we were just hanging out with them on the green, and they never mentioned any of this. And like we elongated the conversation across months before the person figured out that we were messing with them.
But nicely done.
Thank you.
Very nicely done.
Our industry is run by billionaires and conglomerates.
At Microcosm, we wanted the freedom to independently sell our books, easily pay royalties, manage our inventory, and understand our business all in one place.
That's why we've been using our own software since 2001.
Now, we want to share it with you.
Working Lit is the only business success software that is created and owned 100% by publishers for publishers.
Join Working Lit and get the agency you need to help your business grow.
Visit workinglit.com to try it for free.
Jason Sanford, he does a newsletter called Genre Grapevine, and he did everyone a public service by really wasting the time of one of these book club scammer people and then publishing the email exchanges. So you can see if you were to go down the rabbit hole, where does this end up?
Yeah.
And that way people can get better educated on what the flow is like.
Man, these things are getting so much more sophisticated. Like, this isn't an author scam, but I get ones all the time that purport to be from Joe telling me to pay an invoice.
Yes, I've received those too.
And like they'll go deep on, they'll be forwarding an email thread that goes deep with emails that seem to be from Joe, even though Joe would never. And I'm just like, okay, I guess this is the power.
I would say don't pay the invoice would be if it came from me.
Joe would be like, let's see how much we can save on this $29,000 invoice for executive coaching.
Oh, that's a bargain on executive coaching. You should see what it cost me to have my business workbook made into a film. But and this is sort of right. Like I get the ones every day that are like, we want to feature your book on TikTok. We want to review you on Goodreads, and I'm just like, why are you writing to me then?
I had one of them called my parents.
Oh, that's pretty wild.
Wow.
Yeah.
I should, since you mentioned in a different segment that sometimes people don't always appreciate that you're offering a legitimate opportunity and you're mistaken for a scam. If people will, I think some of the signs that you're actually being approached by a legitimate opportunity, person, business, if something happened, like, were you in the media? Did your book get some attention? Like, is there something that might be bringing people to your door where they see, oh, there's money to be made, like there's a real opportunity here?
Yeah.
And I also think the emails tend not to traffic in that flattery you mentioned, Elly, where it's really flowery, it's over the top, it's stroking your ego. I think people in business tend to be a little more business focused, and they might also lead with, here's how we found you, here's why we think there's this opportunity, are you open to a call? Usually I find scammers don't usually want to get on phone calls. So, being able to like have a phone call or a Zoom and identify a human being that you're going to be working with is one of the early steps you should take.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good advice.
And then you could run their emails through AI detectors.
Yes, you can. That's a good idea.
I don't think most people in publishing are not using AI for legitimate business purposes, like even email comms. They're against it.
You can. I was just going to say, Pangram you can, I think, use their tool for free from, I don't know, 3 times a week or something like that. So that's not a bad, you probably aren't going to use it that well. Maybe you will with the volume of scams, but
you'll quickly learn to detect for yourself.
Yeah, you find the patterns.
And I would say the final thing is, if you're an author working with a publisher and you get any kind of offer whatsoever for you to pay to do anything whatsoever related to your book, please
don't do it.
A, don't do it, but B, like, if you're tempted, ask your publisher, like, run it by them, and they have seen it all, and they can tell you, like, this is good, this is not good, this is something we're already doing for you, like, we're already listing your book in the Library of Congress. You don't need to pay for that.
Right. That actually reminds me of another scam.
Oh, no.
Do you guys get the AWP scams?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And any conference.
But I don't sign up for it. Elly does, right? That's why.
Okay. Any conference we go to, we get scams now.
Yeah. So writers need to be aware of that. If you're attending events, conferences, things of that nature, you may get scam emails related to buying the attendee list or hotel offers or things that are not legitimate.
I mean, I think everybody at Microcosm gets a scam email almost every day being like, your Microcosm account is about to expire. You have to reset your password.
Wow.
Which I'm like, no, stay away.
Oof. Yeah. Wow.
But we have a culture where we share the best ones and we help each other look out for it. So absolutely.
And it's often very amusing because, like, when a junior person gets a fake email from me, it's like, so the opposite of my voice, that like they're often very entertained by it, like thinking of me talking like that.
So I guess, the real remedy for scams is to be your own weird self and surround yourself with other weirdos who can support you and hold you in check in case you're tempted to go down a bad road.
And most importantly, waste the scammer's time.
Thanks for joining us once again.
Please send your questions to podcast@microcosmpublishing.com so we can answer them on future episodes.
And please give us 5 stars on iTunes and everywhere else that podcasts are reviewed.
You can find us on the internet at microcosm.pub.
On Twitter at Microcosm.
On Facebook at Microcosm Publishing.
On Instagram at Microcosm_pub.
And here in Portland, Oregon on North Williams Avenue.
Thank you so much.
Have a wonderful week.